Guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see convert integer to the sum of two no zero integers problem, which is from Leetcode number 1317. Let's now look at the problem statement. In this problem, no zero integer is a positive integer that does not contain any zero in its decimal representation. Given an integer n, return a list of two integers a comma b, where a and b are no zero integers and a plus b must be equals to n. The test cases are generated so that there is at least one valid solution, and if there are many valid solutions, you can return any of them. Now if you look at the examples, then the first example is having n equals to 2. So I need to divide 2 into two numbers a and b such that none of these numbers should have any digit as 0. Can I do that? Yes, I can do that as 1 comma 1, where if I add 1 plus 1 it will be equals to the n value 2, and none of these numbers have any 0 digit. Okay, now if you look at the second example 11, then I need to divide it into two numbers a and b in such a way that none of these numbers should have any 0 digit. Can I do that? If I take 9 and 2, then yes, 9 plus 2 adds up to 11, which is n value, and none of these numbers have any 0, so this is valid. There could be other valid numbers as well, which could be like 8 comma 3, where 8 plus 3 adds up to 11 and none of these numbers have any 0 digit, and so on. So yes, I can divide this 11, and the problem already guarantees that there will be no test case where you do not get any solution. So the test cases are generated so that you get at least one valid solution. So answer will always be possible. Now where this will not work is if you have the input as n equals to 0. So you cannot get a and b as single digit numbers where you just add up, like they can be 0 0, right? If you add up then it will be 0, but they have 0 digits, so that's why it will not be a valid input. And also n equals to 1 would not be valid, because how can you get two digits a and b so that it adds up to become 1 and they do not have any 0? Okay, you have to go to negative numbers then. Now in this case, the input is in the range of 2 to 10 to the power of 4. So definitely the input will be given in such a way that you will always get a valid result. What can be the easiest way to solve this problem? The easiest way to solve would be, let's say if you are given n equals to 11 and you start by saying that I will be looping using a value a, and a will be starting with somewhat, let's say 1, and a will be going till less than n minus 1 a plus plus. So what you are doing, you are taking this range from 1 to n minus 1 and assigning a value a somewhat here. Let's say a is a value given here. Then what should be b? B will be another pair where b will be calculated as n minus a, in such a way that if you write a plus b equals to n, then if you have already assumed the value for a, then the b's value will be fixed to n minus a, so that they add up to become the value n. Okay, now once you have found value b for each a value, then you have to check if there is a 0 in a or there is a 0 in b. If there is a 0 in either a or b, then this solution will not work, and you have to check for the next possible value of a. Whereas if this condition do not hold true, like if I put an AND operator here and I say that it does not have a 0, a do not have any 0 digit, b do not have any 0 digit, then I can return the pair as a comma b. A comma b will be our answer. So how many pairs do I have to check? If you see, a will be iterating for order of n, and b will be calculated in just O1 time for each of the a value. And if you have to check if a number 1304 has any digit called 0, you can do that by going one digit after another, and the number of digits in a decimal number is log of n base 10, right? So the overall complexity of this solution is going to be n log n. And if you look at the largest n value, which is 10 to the power of 4, then if you take log of 10 to the power 4 base 4, this is going to be 4 times of 10 to the power of 4. This is way below your 10 to the power 8 limit, which is a standard for 1 second. So this will comfortably pass. Okay, so this is your brute force solution, but we will be looking at a trickier and more optimal solution to solve this problem. Now let's look at the observation for that solution. In this case, if I get, let's say, any digit in the range of 2 to 9, then you can always divide into two parts. What you can do is, if you get 2, you can divide into 1 and 1. If you get 5, you can divide it into 2 and 3. How 2 and 3? You can take 5 by 2 as one digit, and you can say that I will give 2, and the other digit will be the initial digit minus whatever you have assigned to this value a will be the value for b. So if you have any digit d, then you can assign the first number a with d by 2 and the second number with d minus d by 2. Why did I do it in this way? Why not d by 2 on both the sides? Because d may be odd, and if you do d by 2 on this, it will become an even number, which is 2. So if you have assigned d by 2, then it will become 2 and 2, which will not add up to this number 5. So this is the way you should do the assignment. Okay. So if I do the assignment in this way, then I will always be able to divide a given number from 2 to 9 in two parts where none of the part have any kind of 0. It will always be possible. For this 9, d by 2 will be 4 and d minus d by 2 will be 5, which is 9 minus 4. Okay. So this condition works for all the numbers from 2 to 9. Now if it comes to 1, then you cannot do it in that way, because 1 by 2 will be 0. Okay, and 1 minus a 0 is going to be 1, but at least one of them have seen a 0, so this will not be a valid split, and this is actually not a valid input, as we have seen. So if you get a 1, there must be a digit to the left hand side from which you can take a carry, so that if you take a carry from this to this, 2 will become 2 minus 1, which is 1, and this 1 will be becoming 11 because 10 will be added because of the carry. So now it becomes 11, and when 11 is split into two parts, then you will be splitting into 5 and 6 according to this given condition, d by 2. 11 by 2 is 5 and d minus d by 2, so 11 minus 5 is 6. Okay, and similarly for this 0, if you just have 0, you cannot actually divide into two parts where none of the digit is 0. So there must be a digit on the more significant side from which if you take a carry, then the carry weightage will be 10 and this 2 will become 1. So this 0 will become 10, and if you divide 10 into two parts, then this is going to be d by 2, which is 5, and 10 minus 5, which is 5. So that's why whenever you see 1, the split will happen as 5 and 6, and when you see 0, then the split will happen as 5 and 5. But definitely we have to adjust for the more significant digit by subtracting 10. We have to subtract 10 in case of this 0, and we have to subtract 11 in case of when you see 1, isn't it? I hope this is clear. If you look at this example here, we have the digit 1 and we need to split it into two parts. So since 1 is very small, we have to take a carry from the more significant side. It will give a carry, so the weightage will become 10 because we are sending a digit from 10's place to 1's place. So this 1 will now be updated to 11 because 10 plus 1 will be 11, and now it will be split into 5 and 6, which is d by 2 and d minus d by 2. 11 by 2 is 5 and 11 minus 5 is 6. This 3, since it gave a carry, it will become 2. Okay, and now since you have split this into two parts, 6 and 5, our number will reduce to actually 20 because we have assigned 11 total value, right? So the total value assigned is 11, and when you have assigned this value, the entire number will change to 20. So how this effect will happen? If you have a one digit, when you have seen one digit, then to a value you will be adding 5, to the b value you will be adding 6, and to the entire n value, which was 31, it will be subtracted with 11 because when you divide, when you split, you have already accounted for 11 value, so that value has to be subtracted from the initial number. Okay, because finally our a plus b has to be equals to n. So when we assign the splits to a and b, we will be subtracting that from n. Similarly for this example, 1 is a special case, so it will ask for a carry. It will get a carry of plus 10. This 1 will become 11. Split it into 5 and 6. This 1 will become 0, isn't it? So the actual effect will be 11 minus 11. This entire value becomes 0, and a value becomes 5 and b value becomes 6. Similar approach will happen when you see a 0 digit. So when you see a 0, this is small, so it will be asking for a carry, and the carry, if it gives the carry, it becomes 2 plus 10 is shared, and this 0 will become 10. So the split will happen as 5 and 5. So whenever you see a 0, you will find that a value increases by 5, b value increases by 5. And what will be the effect to n value? This 30 will become 20 because the assignment of plus 5 is done. from 30, so it will reduce to 20. So we have to subtract 10, which is accounting for the a plus b. Similarly, you can do for 10, and for this 100, if you look at this 0, then it will be asking for a carry from this 0. Now it does not even matter if it is 0 or 1, it will be giving a carry, because in real effect, if this 0 is asking for a carry from this 0, it will ask for a carry from this 1, right? So we will technically not be taking care of it. What we will take care is, if we are seeing a 0, then we will be assuming it is 10 and split it into 5 and 5. So a gets added with value 5, b gets added with value 5, and this 100 becomes 90. Okay, simply that. Because if you take 100 and this will be asking for a digit from 0, a carry from 0, 0 will be asking this 1, 1 will become 0 and give it a carry of 1. So this 0 will become 10 and give it a carry of 1 to the right hand side. So this becomes 10 and this becomes 9. And this 10 will be split into 5 and 5. Okay, 5 and 5, and the final result would be 90 only, and a will be 5 and b will be 5. That is how it works. So I hope the idea is clear. We have one more thing to consider, like we have seen only for one digit, but let's see how to do it for an entire number having multiple digits in it. So let's take a 4-digit number, and in this case, you know that the least significant digit will be on the rightmost side and the most significant will be on the leftmost side. So since the position have different weightage, we will be taking a power value which will start with 1, because 9 can be split into two parts saying 4 and 5, but that does not apply to all the digits. Every digit will have different weightage. So when we process, then we will see. Now in this case, how to get the last digit? We will start from the right to left, and how to get the last digit. So if you do n mod of 10, you will get the last digit as 9. You have got it. Now since this falls in the range of 2 to 9, it is not under our special case, so you can simply divide it into two parts, which is d by 2 and d minus d by 2. So this is 4 and 5. Okay, 4 and 5 are the numbers that we get. So simply take 4, multiply it by the given weightage, which is the ones place, and get the exact value that you need to add to a and b. So here I have to add 4, here I have to have 5, and this is becoming 4 and 5. This is how the a and b value will get updated. Now we have derived this digit, which is the last one. Now I am interested in finding the next digit. A simple way to do that is to right shift this entire number by one time, so that I will lose 9 and I will get the last digit as 0 and just do n mod of 10. But right shifting by one time cannot be just done with the right shift operator, because right shift operator is a bitwise operator, and right shifting by one time in binary number is equivalent to dividing by 2. Whenever you have a base b number, then right shifting by one time in that base is equivalent to dividing by the base. So in the base 10 number, if you have to lose the last digit, then you have to divide by the base, which is base 10, right? So if you divide by 10, then you are right shifting it by one time. We will be doing that. Divide this number n by 10. If you do that, then you lose the last digit. And simply if you do n mod of 10, then you get 0. But the power value should also be compensated, because once you are looking at 0, this is no more ones place, it is tens place. So you have to keep on multiplying by 10, because if you keep jumping one after another, the weightage is increasing in multiples of 10. So the new power is 10. If you have to divide 0 into two parts, you know that there must be something more significant on the left side. Otherwise it would not be possible. So how will 0 be divided? If some carry is coming, plus 10 will be added to this 0, and you have to divide it into 5 and 5. So whatever was the number, if it was 20, then this 2 will become 1. Okay, and then this 5 and 5 split will go. So simply you have to take this number 270, okay, add this 5 and 5 division and multiply the weightage. The weightage is 10 here, okay, the weightage is 10. So the equivalent value that gets added is 50 for both the numbers, 50 for both the numbers. So the number A becomes 54, number B becomes 55, and this number will be reduced according to how I have explained you. You have to first subtract 10 value from it, 10 value. So this number will become 260, and then you do the right shifting, because once this 0 asks for a carry from this 7, then this 7 will become 6. So the number is already 260. and now 0 has been processed, so we will be right shifting it by one time by dividing by 10. So the new number is 26. Okay, now once you have done the right shifting, your power should also shift to 100, because whatever we get by doing n mod of 10 now is the hundreds position. So we get 6 can be divided into d by 2 and d minus d by 2, 3 and 3, but compensate for the power, the weightage, multiply by them, and it becomes 300 and 300. It gets added and this becomes 354 and this becomes 355. Okay, now again you do the same thing, right shift it by one time, so this 6 is lost and now you are looking at just 2. The weightage will change to 1000 when you multiply this by 10, and now when you get this 2 divided into two parts, 1 and 1, and so compensate for the power by multiplying by it. This becomes 1000 and this is also 1000. So add 1000 to both of them, this becomes 1354 and this becomes 1355. If you add it, then this will be 549, this 5501 carry, 336 and 7, and this is 112, 2709. So we have got two numbers a and b. When the number n reduced to 0, we have got a and b, and this pair will add up to this value n, but they will never have any digit with 0 value. Okay, so a comma b will be the final answer, and I hope it is clear. So in this entire approach, we have gone one digit after another in the given number n, which can be said to be log n digits, order of log n time, where the base will be 10 because this is a base 10 number system, and the space complexity is O1 because we are not taking any extra space. I hope this technique is clear. Let's now look at the code. If you are someone who is looking to prepare for top product based company within a limited time of just 3 months, then we have brought for you both the DSA and the system design live interview training program. The most important feature of this program is you get a filtered and condensed structured curriculum, in-depth discussion of all the topics, and my guarantee of your understanding, one-on-one guidance with me, and live weekend classes. To know more about the training, you can WhatsApp us on this given number. In this problem, we are given the n value. So I will be assuming a, b as starting point to be 0 and the power b and 1. Then we will be processing each of the digit until the number n becomes 0. So take out the last digit and check if the digit is 0 or it is 1 or it goes in the range of 2 to 9. If it is 0, then I know that it will be asking for a carry from the digit next to it, and this 0 will become 10, and I have to split it into two parts, 5 and 5, and this x will become x minus 1. So that is why 5 will be added to a and b. Definitely we have to compensate for the position, which will be multiplied with the power, and the n value will be subtracted by 10. Okay, and this is how the 0 case will be solved. If you have a 1, then again it will be asking for a carry from the digit next to it, and this will become x minus 1, and this 1 will become 11. So this will be split into two parts, 5 and 6, and that is why 5 and 6 are added to a and b, compensating with the position, and then the number will be subtracted by 11, not 10. And if the number falls in the range of simply 2 to 9, then simply I can divide it into d by 2, which is half, and d minus d by 2, right? And after this we will be doing the right shifting. So right shifting is done by dividing by 10, which is the base of the number system, and the power, that means the position, will change. If we are looking at the tens place, now we will be looking at 100s place, right? And once the n has reduced to 0, a comma b will give you the pair of no 0 integer values. So I hope this entire technique is clear. If you have any other technique to share, then please comment below. In case of any doubt, I'll reach out to you as soon as possible. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.